week on the show, we talk about the latest YouTube controversy.
Is YouTube betraying its creators?
We tell you how to survive in a post-apocalyptic YouTube nightmare.
All that and more, and probably no more after that, because the world's gonna end on the inner tube.
What's going on? Welcome to the Inner Tube, the podcast for content creators. My name is Josh.
My name is Kevin.
Thank you all so much for joining us for this, our 144th episode of the Inner Tube. For show notes for this episode, as well as a complete archive of every episode of the Inner Tube over the last two and a half years or so, feel free to check out our website, innertubeshow.com. This is a show all about content creation on the internet and elsewhere. If you have questions for the show, because a lot of what we do here is answer questions, feel free to email us, questions@innertubeshow.com. We've got a juicy one, Kevin. We actually got an audio question.
We got an audio.
And it's a good one. So I
Buckle your seatbelts.
I think we're going to devote all of our question time to that one question. Because it's
for real?
It's right. I mean, it's in the
ripe.
headlines. I see people talking about it online. You seen this? You heard about this? This is something that people are talking about. It's a big deal. Okay, YouTube has betrayed everybody. It's
Betrayal.
Everybody is destroyed. It's all ruined.
It's all over. The dream is dead.
So it's a long question.
That means we don't have to talk as much.
But no, I'm gonna allow it. Because somebody sent it in, and so I'm happy about that.
What if somebody
But two,
wanted to do that? Could you give them the resource?
Oh yeah, if you want to send in an audio question to us, feel free to just go to questions@innertubeshow.com, email us there, and attach the file there. Okay, that weeds out the pretenders who might send us long meandering things on SpeakPipe or some easier thing.
Yeah.
All right. We just want
send it right
stuff,
to us
okay?
so I can drag and drop it right into the Pro Tools session.
All right, here we go. Here comes the question. This is about YouTube controversy.
Play it.
Wait, hang on. I pressed play.
Heard you guys wanted some audio files. Unless that was files with a P, you wanted people who love audio. Anyway, just sending in my series of questions this way. Well, it's been about a month. It's time for YouTube to start getting scary again. Seems like it's on a cycle now that YouTube just does something weird and stupid to make everyone freak out. Most recently, it's been the sub box thing again, but then I also have been following H3H3's theory, where he's been saying that the algorithm is starting to change, and then a couple other channels are thinking that YouTube is going in another direction. If I remember correctly, the algorithm currently, or what we think is currently, is favoring watch time, which is why Leafy was blowing up so fast, guys. It's because he wouldn't trim down his videos. He wanted to stretch them out as close to 20 minutes as possible. And what they are suggesting is that it's going to change back to interaction with comments and likes. So that means that channels like Jack's Films, who have the Yai series, are going to boost up a bit. Of course, that also means that channels that do promotions and stuff like, hey, like, comment, subscribe for a chance to win a free Amazon gift card, or some pizza, or a puppy, or whatever, they're gonna get a boost, and they're gonna start getting promoted more by YouTube. And if this is truly the direction where the algorithm is going, that would mean that we're all gonna have to adapt to that and get back to reminding people to like and comment and all that. So if this is true, and I don't think we have enough credible sources to say if it's true, what are you guys' takes on it? How should we all adapt? How can smaller channels get ready for the promo apocalypse? We already have to find ways to get people to watch our videos. Now we have to get them to comment and like and all that. And just in general, what do you think YouTube should do to just keep us in the loop? Because, I mean, I'm not to sub drop here or anything, but I've got 177 subscribers, so I'm not, majorly on their radar. But doesn't it seem like there should be some kind of, I don't know, interaction between the bigger channels and YouTube itself? I mean, Kevin's probably got some insight on this, considering where he works, but I don't know, just want to get your guys' thoughts on that.
I work at a prison, so that gives me a lot of insight on...
Wow, so
on the underground of YouTube.
So this is a pretty interesting question. We a lot of people are making videos now about how YouTube is broken.
I wonder
it's
if
all
the
ruined.
YouTube is broken videos get more.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what,
proves
Kevin.
that it really is broken.
I'll tell you what, Kevin. We released a video today. We're recording
Blowing
this
up so
episode
fast?
on Monday, and I'll tell you what, we've lost subscribers today.
What?
So just to briefly sum up what creators are complaining about, in case you're listening to this later or you haven't heard about this controversy.
You hear about this?
You seen this? Hear about this? I don't know who was first. I think it was H3H3.
I think PewDiePie was first.
Maybe PewDiePie.
No,
I
wait.
don't know.
Somebody said, who was it? Somebody made a video and then PewDiePie made one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
maybe it was H3. H3?
So basically, they're saying that anytime they upload a video, they're losing subscribers, and they're also complaining that their videos aren't getting as many views as they used to get. And so they're thinking maybe the algorithms are changing. They're not really sure. And this is on top of the controversy from a few months ago about the terms and conditions changes that they made that were basically saying that you couldn't monetize your stuff if there was like offensive content or whatever in it. And I correctly predicted.
You really did.
I correctly prophesied that channels like ours, clean channels like ours, would probably end up making more money. And that's exactly what happened.
You're rolling in the dough.
But that actually didn't come from a rise in ad rates. That actually came because as we talked about a couple of weeks ago here on the inner tube.
Oh yeah, we've talked about all that, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about that here. That basically YouTube started promoting our videos again, like putting it more on the recommended, so more people were finding it. But as is always the case, anytime we get a big bump, after a few weeks, people realize, oh, I don't really actually like these guys, and they unsubscribe.
Of course,
that happens on days when we release videos, and they either see the thumbnail and say, screw these guys, or they watch it and say, that's not funny, and they unsubscribe. That is a part of the YouTube hustle. That's not something to complain about. That's just something that is. So anyway, every couple of months or so, everybody's afraid YouTube is broken again. And it seems like it's a lot of channels that are reacting to things. That are the
response channels.
Response channels, yeah.
Like
that are,
mine.
Yeah, like yours. You are 100% a response channel.
Yeah.
But no, you know what I mean. They're either like let's play type things. I mean, PewDiePie has kind of moved away from that. PewDiePie, by the way, just
PewDiePie. He says, hear what he said?
What did he say?
He said once he hits
that's what I wanted to talk about.
50 million subscribers, he's going to quit.
He said he's going to delete his channel and start a new one. And start from the ground up. But here's the thing about him. What's so funny about him?
So much money he'd be throwing away.
Here's the thing. I really think he just does not care. Like, to him, this is all just a big joke. And so if you watch his videos, like, with that understanding, or like that hypothesis, it makes his stuff so funny because he just I don't think he cares. Like, he's just like, this is all so dumb. Like, what have I done? I have this huge audience based on me yelling and cursing while I play video games.
Sure.
I haven't done anything to make the world a better place.
And he probably is like, man, if I stopped, then I'd have a lot of time on my hands.
Right. Yeah,
he probably has plenty of like sponsorship deals or whatever.
Yeah. That's what I always have told Jordan. I was like, I really think that like if he woke up one morning, his channel was gone, he would be like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Like, he would just be so happy. Anyways, but so that's a small little tangent. But yeah, PewDiePie's been one complaining about it. H3H3 is another one that's been upset. And yeah, there's been this hypothesis that perhaps we're moving away maybe from like the longer style videos and that those get more traction.
Yeah.
And now we're moving to engagement, which, for advertisers, length of stay is important. Engagement is important. So I don't know.
One of the reasons I think that my longer videos get more ad revenue is because I put 3 ads on them. So that's been benefiting them, and I don't think that would change. Do
you get a substantial increase in the ad rate when you put an ad in the middle of your video?
I think so. Yeah,
that's cool.
But only about 50% of the people stay till the very end.
Right.
But that's also including people who start it and maybe like come back to it or whatever, because that then counts as 2 views.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I never think about that. For longer videos, sometimes
People stop in the middle and
they'll come back and watch again.
Yeah. So,
and sometimes an ad will play at the beginning for a second time.
Yeah. So like you'll notice that you'll have like this huge spike at the very beginning of a video.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of like don't even count that in my brain when I look at my retention time, because now I've had videos where the retention time just drops off really quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can see why they weren't into this. Or if you see like a drop off like real quick in a certain place in the video, maybe think about why that's happening, because that's more important.
That's the part where you took off your shirt, probably.
Yeah, probably. That's probably more important than people commenting or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, well, I lost him at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. But here's a thing, Josh.
Yeah.
You had a really interesting theory that you sent to me in a voice message last night.
Yes, I did.
Tell me what you were saying.
Well, so a YouTube controversy from yesteryear, the one and only convo I've ever had with Olin Rogers was on this very topic. That was what was going on in the middle of all this. And it was at a time when people were starting to complain. If I remember correctly, the situation was that you were starting to get fewer views on your videos, and what was happening was people were trying to figure out, well, is YouTube putting my videos on people's feeds? And that was never a problem for me, because I don't use YouTube's homepage for the stuff I subscribe to.
Yeah.
I actually just have a link or a bookmark rather for the YouTube subscription page, which just shows a chronological listing of all the subscriptions, all the videos they're releasing. So I've never had this problem, but apparently this is where I found out other people don't have that. So
people have it, they
don't use it. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that was what people were thinking, was like, oh, people use their feeds and YouTube isn't putting all of the videos that people subscribe to on this page. And so what's happening is it was called subscriber burnout, basically. You're putting out too much content, and so you don't click on one, and so now YouTube's algorithm says, oh, well, they're not watching, so we're going to take that off of their feed or whatever. And so all those creators were getting upset.
Again, perpetuated by PewDiePie, and then Game Theorist
Game Theorist made a video about it,
about PewDiePie losing subscribers or not getting the views that he used to.
So
it could be that people just aren't liking your stuff. I mean, every 2 years...
It always is so entitled.
Yeah, like
somehow.
Whenever you... In my thought, whenever you make content that is very immature, you're going to lose...
As people get older...
a majority of your viewers every 2 years.
Yeah. That's so true. Anyways...
like, why would they... The people I paid attention to 2 years ago aren't really the people that I watch anymore. I've kind of switched over to Tom Woods all the time.
So my theory, which I don't know if it's true, but it would be funny if it was true.
YouTube
theory is that YouTube is responding to a criticism from a couple of years ago that they weren't putting the subscriptions in the subscribers' feeds.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, we'll put them back in. And now all these kids are like, now all of a sudden they're getting these videos again. They're like, wait, I don't even like this anymore. And so YouTube's algorithm was correct. And so now it's not that you're like losing subscribers. You're just, the people that already weren't watching are now unsubscribing to you.
Oh, I'm subscribed to this. I'm sick of this.
Yeah. Now that doesn't explain the loss in views or whatever. I think just in general, YouTube is trying to move away from, like what you're saying, like just juvenile content like that. I think they're trying to like move towards like more professional, not necessarily like clean content, but just not just like reacting to a video. Oh, F this, ah ha ha.
Well, they created that by making the long
I'm not saying YouTube's in the right here.
No. YouTube is in the neutral here.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, they're censoring the conservatives.
And you pulled back, and I was like, "What is he about to say?
Which one is it?
Which one is it going to be?"
I don't think that they're censoring the conservatives or whatever. I mean, there's all these. Oh, they're shutting us up. It's censorship.
Yeah,
and we've talked about that. I don't believe that it's actually censorship. I think that they're looking at their advertisers and they're thinking, how can we make this a more lucrative business? Because all of our competition, Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, are doing better than YouTube.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we need to stay in the game if this is going to work. And it's not working just having user-based content. Yeah. So how can we bring this up? Well, before they were like, all right, it's based on clicks, but we're getting all this clickbaity stuff. We got everybody's about thumbnails and saying, hey, come watch this thing. And then it turns out that thing isn't so important after all.
Yeah.
And so you're getting all these clicks and views. And I think that they also did this to compete with Facebook, which I think has worked very well, saying, look, retention time, that's what's important. Because Facebook is like, look, we've got more views than YouTube.
Right.
And it turns out that they just, when you scroll through...
Right. It's like, yeah, I feel like there keep being reports coming out that's saying like, oh yeah, the view counts aren't correct and blah, blah, blah. They keep like having to admit to this.
And so like, they responded to that and, it's better if they kept, eyes on their site. And however, though, by doing that, they encourage people to make longer videos.
Right.
And so then all of a sudden you get a lot of this
like reaction
commentary videos.
Yep.
I think then they're like, well, we're getting a lot of that. People are staying there, but we're not getting the engagement. Like we want the fans that are the 10%, the engaged hardcore fans. So we want to make sure those people are being catered to, and not just droll stuff that you just put on while you're vacuuming or whatever.
Right. Like I mean, that's what I do for a lot of stuff. If it's like a 40-minute video, I just press play and I do something else.
Exactly. So essentially YouTube is kind of becoming like a podcast platform, and maybe they don't want that. Maybe if all their ads are visual, then nobody's looking at their ads. So they want to encourage people to engage their audience.
If people are clicking on things to like it or they're commenting, that means their eyes are on the screen.
Exactly. So this is I'm just speculating what YouTube is doing, not in a malicious way. Like, I don't believe that they're sitting there thinking, how can we really bring down these conservatives? I don't think they care. Just working, the guy mentioned where I work, is as politically minded as a lot of people at work can be. In the end, when they've got a job to do, they don't care about any of that. All they care about is how can we get this job done so we get paid by the people who want us to do the job.
Follow the money, Kevin, as you always say.
And YouTube and most businesses are just trying to stay afloat. They're not trying to figure out how society is going to benefit from the thing that they're doing. They're not thinking of what political agenda could we possibly push. And that's why these news networks do push political agendas, because they have such an influence, and then they're being influenced by people who would benefit from that. So hey, let's get the word out. But I don't think YouTube cares. Themselves don't care about that. So I say all that to say, he said that YouTube has suggested going back to what they were before, but what they were before is view-based pay. There was a direct correlation between how many views you got and how much you got paid. So if we used to say like it's right around $1 per 1,000
something like
views. I mean, we're not allowed to tell anybody that we signed a contract with YouTube, but
well, I mean, that's what people just popularly.
No, that's what I mean. It did end up being around that. Now it's not like that because it could be any number if it's And it was very obvious when they switched to retention time. Payment, because I noticed a huge boost on videos that were longer. It was just really obvious.
See, so we make more short form content, so it's always but also because it's shorter, people stick around for a few videos. You know what I mean? So
and they share it more.
I guess that's true too.
I think it's more shareable because like my movie night stuff may get shared, but people who don't know what it is may click on it and say, I'm not watching a 40-minute movie. It's 40-minute video tearing apart a movie that I like.
I don't think our stuff gets shared the way it used to, because like back in the day, like our videos getting shared on Facebook, that was like most of what our growth was. But
that growth that you have,
on your leg, on my leg. But now, because I mean, back in the day, how videos got around the internet, was people posting a YouTube link on Facebook, but now you don't see any YouTube links on Facebook.
To their emails.
What?
No, I don't know.
That's weird.
What I was going to say, where I was headed with that is YouTube, or what people are suggesting is that YouTube is switching from the not going back to the view count, but paying based on the engagement that you get. And I don't think they ever did that. I don't think they ever paid based on how many likes you got.
I mean, I can't imagine that they would. I don't know how they would do, like, you get more for, like, more comments, or maybe, like, more like the number of comments per, like, minute of people watching or something. I don't know.
What I would imagine they would try to do is create some sort of balance between thumbs down and comments, because if it's just based on comments, then you incite controversy in your video, and then you get a bunch of people arguing about it. You'll get a bunch of religion and political videos. But if it's based on thumbs up, thumbs down, also, then you may
that makes sense.
Incite those conversations and discussions. But if you do, then you're likely to get a lot of thumbs down. So if your ratio of thumbs ups are high, you know, maybe I don't know what the algorithm would be, but I imagine they would try to have some sort of balance there between engagement and thumbs up. So if some video has a bunch of comments, but then there's like only 2 thumbs up, then they're not going to get it or not. I think that's a bad idea, but I understand that they're trying to encourage like a social network platform community.
Well, it might not even be. I mean, the complaints people are having aren't even about their like the AdSense part of it. They're just where they're losing their audience and they're losing their views for now.
That's true.
So I don't know. So like I don't know. Maybe they'll keep their ad rate model the same, or however you want to say that. But in terms of like what kind of content they push, they'll push stuff that seems like it's getting more engagement or seems like it's getting more like positive comments. And that I don't know. I just always get a little annoyed, to switch gears just a little bit.
Here we go.
I just always get a little annoyed with these big popular YouTubers constantly making videos and complaining, YouTube is broken, and I'm not, because one person comes out and says, hey, every time I put on a video, I'm losing subscribers. And
I've noticed a trend.
And then someone else comes out, hey, that's happening to me too. And then someone else is like, oh yeah, that's happening to me too. Oh, good. I thought that people just thought I suck, but now I've got an excuse. And it's, I don't know.
It couldn't be that people just don't like what I'm doing anymore.
Right. Like that for most of this year on Mondays, we'll lose more subscribers than we gain. And I don't complain about it. It's just like,
oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because that's just how it is. It's like, throughout the week, as people are, just seeing our videos and related videos, they're finding us, they like it or whatever. But when we put out a new video, there's a new video showing up in their feed. And on those days, there are more people that decide, I don't want to watch anymore. Because like, if people don't want to watch your videos, okay, who cares? Like, there are still people who do want to watch your videos.
This is some people's job.
That's annoying too. like you're forced to like do YouTube for, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is my job. Well, okay, well, guess what? You can lose any job you have.
Right.
You're not owed this job. You know what I mean? In fact, you're very lucky that you've been able to have, like, if tomorrow we lose everything, I'll just be, I won't.
Like, wow, that was a crazy ride.
Yeah, like, man, that did seem a little too good to be true.
I was thinking this was going to have to end at some point.
Really? I mean, that's how I feel. That's what's annoying. And what I told you,
sense.
And what I told you, that sounds about right.
YouTube shut you guys down. Yeah, that makes sense. Took them long enough.
I don't know. That's annoying to me because, like I told you the other day, there are so many, like Rise of the Kumquat, the guy who wrote us this email, he would kill to like,
and he has
murdered thousands. No, he would,
and yet no more subscribers.
He's killing his subscribers. No, I'm sure that he would love to have this problem of, boy, every time I put out a video, I lose a few subscribers, but I still get tens of thousands of views on my videos every week. Like, oh man, what a terrible life I live. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I think Leafy's video on it was kind of like, it was flippant, but he's also like, yeah, I guess it would be a problem. But for him,
he loses subscribers every day.
Right. For him, he shouldn't, like, you get tired of him pretty quick.
Right.
So, like, getting 4 million or however many he had at his peak, that's too much for him.
Yeah.
Like, not that, he shouldn't have that, but, like, that's spread very thin.
Yeah.
And that balloon's about to pop.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's everyone.
Yeah.
Like, none of us, I'm still surprised that anybody watches the stuff that I make. And I think each time I put out a video, this'll probably be it. Like, people will wake up and realize either, he's just doing the same jokes every time. Because with the movie reviews, it gets tiring to, like, not tiring to do them, but, like, I think, because I don't remember every joke that I've made, and I think, have I made this joke already? This movie is very similar to another one I've reviewed. Am I just saying the same stuff this time? I wonder that. And are people going to catch on to that? Is this the end for me?
Yeah.
Have I peaked? Like, it feels like I'm growing, but then is it like, at some point it's going to taper off, and then that'll kind of be all that this niche audience can get.
And that's how it was. That's how it's been for the last few years for our channel. Like, we had our initial, like, peak or whatever, and it slowed down. And so it was nice this past few months. It started to slow down again. It's still better than it was, but it was nice for a while to kind of blow up again and be like, oh, this is really great. And we picked up like 50,000 subscribers really quickly.
Yeah.
And so now it's slowing down again. Like, whatever algorithm YouTube had us in is not. It's leveling off or whatever, and it's just like, because, like, when it was happening, I was talking to my dad about it, and Dad was like, so, like, is there something different that's going on, or is there something? I was like, Dad, at this point, honestly, like, I just take it as it comes, and I don't try to figure it out anymore, because I've spent so many months of my life trying to think, okay, well, this is we're losing subscribers now, so what do we need to do differently? Okay, now we're growing. What do we need to do? After all these years, it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to it. It's just YouTube is a company, and they're constantly changing the way they do things, trying to figure out how they can make the most money and grow their brand the most, and grow.
How dare they?
Yeah, right. So and we're just one little cog in their machine, and so we matter to them in that they need lots of creators to be making content, but in the grand scheme of it, we're like nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
they don't. This entitlement mentality that you're owed anything.
Right.
That would be like Walmart getting upset at you for not buying from them.
Right.
YouTube is purchasing your content at an agreed amount. Right. They don't have to buy anything from you.
And at the end of the day, like,
and if they feel like, you know what, long videos aren't what we want to buy anymore. What we actually want to buy is viewer engagement. If you can deliver that to us, we'll give you this amount of money.
Right. But they're still paying you even if not. You know what I mean? Like, you're still making money on your content.
But they're just putting the word out there that, hey, that's not worth to us what we thought it was going to be worth to us. We don't want to purchase that anymore. It's like you canceling your Netflix subscription because you're like, man, I thought there was going to be better movies on here, and there aren't. I'd rather get Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
YouTube is just changing who they're purchasing or what they're buying, and you can't get mad at them for that. But what we've talked about before, what will happen is people hopefully will start saying, all right, this isn't as reliable. I can't keep changing what I do in my art. And they'll start things like Patreon.
Right.
And I think that's what you and I have done. So, like, whenever people are worried about the AdSense revenue, that's such a small percentage of what we make. But I was telling Carmen the other day, like, if I was to go out and get a part-time job, if we were short on cash and I was to go out and get a part-time job, I would make around what I'm making off Say Goodnight Kevin with AdSense, Patreon. Those are my only two. Oh, and doing work for you. doing the Messy Mondays audio. All that combined is a nice part-time job income.
Yeah.
And so that's all fine and dandy. My point is that, like, I look at it as my second part-time job.
Right.
I don't look at it as, I mean, if I was making enough, like what you guys are doing, making enough to do that, great. But if you lose your job, you got to find another one. And so to think like, this is my job and my job should never be threatened.
Right.
That's, you have to, each individual, like, you've evaluated after doing YouTube for a long time and got to the point where you could quit your job and do it full time.
Right.
That was a financial decision that you made, but that's you.
If
I was to say, like, well, it's not fair that Josh is able to do that and I can't. I have to make a financial. I may at one point be making as much as Blimey Cow is making, and I still wouldn't quit my job.
Right.
Maybe, like, that would be something I'd have to evaluate at that time. At that time, I may say, you know what, I would be better off. I could serve my my viewers better if I didn't have this full-time job and I'm making enough money to justify doing that. Or I may say, you know, it's actually too dangerous. I can't rely on that. Right. Even, you know, I could have make one video and offend all my Patreon supporters and then it be done. Right. I think that I should probably maintain my full-time job or whatever. Like, I'll probably always do freelance work, or I'm just saying that, like, I as an individual with nobody else's decisions on what they do for their work. What am I trying to say? It's everybody else's decisions is irrelevant to what I choose to do for employment and how I choose to pay my bills.
Right.
What I choose to do to get my income, unless I'm doing something illegal.
Sure.
You know, to get that money. But that's a decision that I make, that Carmen and I discuss and make that decision. If we find that YouTube just isn't doing it anymore, you know, if I quit, or if, like what you guys did, you realize, oh, YouTube isn't bringing in the money like it used to, I'm going to have to go find another job. It would be exactly the same way as like when I was freelance full time, and then I was like, you know what, it would be better if I had a more steady income.
Right.
That's just employment. So this argument of, well, this is our job.
Right. That's
it's
so annoying.
YouTube's job. Like, everybody who works at YouTube, it's their job. Somebody's job to figure out how to bring money into the company so that they can keep paying creators.
I just always...
idiots. They're like, oh, all YouTube cares about is money. Yeah. That's why...
But you do too.
Yeah. Like, if YouTube didn't have any money, you wouldn't have any money, you idiots. You stupid idiots.
I've like every decision.
I've never received a check from, like, I've never received a paycheck from a poor person.
Wow.
I've never been hired.
I'll put that on your gravestone.
Yeah, I've never been hired.
I'll put
by
that
a
in your
poor
documentary.
Person. And that's why I'm a capitalist. Boom.
Wow. Yeah, I've always just kind of had in my head that YouTube could be over tomorrow. You know what I mean? We could say something makes people upset. YouTube could change the way they do something. We could one day find that our channel is gone for whatever reason. 100 million things can happen when your entire...
Someone could hack your channel and...
just delete everything.
Delete everything.
Yeah, like... You know what I mean? Like, there's so many, like, when when your whole brand or whatever is based around someone else's platform,
right?
That you're making that's your choice. You know what I mean?
It's like an Atlas Shrugged.
Oh,
whenever I've been reading Atlas Shrugged, and so it's just nonstop examples from there. But whenever they had the transcontinental railway, and then the Mexican government seized it and nationalized it. Bam. The government could nationalize YouTube, saying it's a public good at any second, and then none of us get paid.
There it is. But you know, even you were talking about when I decided to quit my job and do YouTube full time. 90% of the reason I wanted to do that was because I wanted to have more time to explore other like side things that could also bring in money.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, okay, good, now I can really make our YouTube channel grow. Because in my mind, it's like, you know what? We're doing what we enjoy doing. We're doing this niche. And so if people like it, that's great. I don't want to change what we're doing to try and grow it more, because then we're not having fun and our audience isn't getting what they subscribed for or whatever. Then we're just trying to play the YouTube game. And I will end it with this, because we were talking the other day about, boy, now we're going to have to, if it's all about engagement, we're going to have to like say, like my video and comment below and all this. And I was like, you know what? This is what I told you, Kevin.
What'd you tell me?
I said, you know what? You could watch Homestar Runner on any platform, anywhere.
And I do.
And it would be funny and it would make sense anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff I want to make too. Like if you watched any random like YouTuber, 50 years from now on some other platform, and you're hearing like and subscribe and all this stuff, you're like, what is this? What do these words even mean? What is happening? But Homestar Runner is just like this good content. You know what I mean? And to me, it's
and I don't even, when they do their Halloween episode and they're all dressed as really obscure things.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what most of those things are. And it's still funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy.
You're right,
Is that
Josh.
about it? Is that about it for that?
Yeah. So we're not worried about it. You shouldn't be either. AdSense is, I was just having a conversation with somebody about YouTube for businesses and stuff, and they were asking about monetization, and I was like, "That's no. If you want to do YouTube, you do it to promote your brand. It's you take it out of your advertising fund or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't." It would be the same as you sponsoring a YouTube channel, but instead of sponsoring one, it's yours, and you have total control over the content.
Yeah.
Do that. But don't think you're going to start a business by earning money from AdSense on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's not gonna be extra revenue. It won't work.
Google AdSense money is like this nice little,
it's a perk,
extra little bonus thing. It's not like something to build your life around it, because it fluctuates so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just, I guess in terms of like whatever amount you normally get, like the percentage up or down. What?
You said the word fluctuate. I thought flatulate.
Oh. No, Kevin.
I'm being a child. That's the kind of content that you can just watch anywhere. It flatulates so much.
So it's not something to like decide how much you're going to spend on a house with. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm owed this money.
Yeah.
This one month I made this much, and now I'm not, and I'm mad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But that's what I love about Patreon is that even that, I'm not going to like base my whole life on that. But like all of them, I was telling this person who was interested, I said there's 3 ways to make money that YouTubers make money, and that's typically. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways, but like it's AdSense, which is the least. It's sponsors, which is probably the most, depending on not for me, because sponsors apparently don't want to sponsor my videos, or they could though if they wanted to.
Just throwing it out there, but you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah. And then it's like Patreon, and Patreon's right there in the middle. But for me, it's the most. And if you're a business making a YouTube channel, you got to think like you don't need sponsors because you're the sponsor. And then the point of Patreon, while it is for money, it determines your viewer engagement.
Yeah.
It shows you. So if you have a product that you're selling, that's your Patreon. If you're a business,
Yeah.
This is people who are willing to respond and purchase something from you because it's brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Where so a business, that's what they want, is not just somebody to go buy their stuff, but like when you want to buy something, you go to Amazon because you have loyalty to Amazon. Or there's other places to purchase some of these things.
Yeah.
And so that's like above and beyond just, oh yeah, they provide this service. There's something extra special there. For a brand, because there are a lot of people who provide the service, but what kind of added value does that bring? And so if you're a business out there wanting to run a YouTube channel, when going into it, you want to think like, all right, this isn't going to like bring me in money. This is to promote a brand and to create brand loyalty.
Right.
And that brand loyalty will then, what people choose to spend on my brand is where I'll actually make revenue.
Right.
Because they've connected with me through this YouTube channel. And I don't think that that's, by giving that advice to this person, it made me think about how individuals also are, because as I've said for a long time, individuals are businesses.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing. You're constantly trying to figure out how you can increase your worth and create leverage and sell what you're able to do for a higher price, so you can have more of the things that you want, or give to people more freely, as the Bible says. And so I say all that to say, it's the same. Like, if you're connecting with your audience, and you're creating brand loyalty, aka people who care about what you have to say or what you're doing, that's worth a lot more than swindling people into buying your thing once.
I just thought of a really good metaphor for all this.
Like your product is what I mean by thing.
Right. Imagine you at home listening to this in your car. Imagine that there's a building downtown, and the owner of the building says you can open up you can start your own little booth in my shop, and you can invite people to come into my building in your booth, and you're free to do this for free. So everybody starts building these little booths, and maybe some people attract a few people and other people attract more people.
Like an expo center?
Yeah, and like an expo center. And so then imagine the owner says, hey, you know what? I'm actually making some money off of this every time people come in. I'm gonna give you guys some of the money too. Whoa, thanks, because you're not even charging us to have a booth here.
A lot of expos, you got to pay to have a booth.
That's right. Yeah, you got to pay a lot of money. So they're like, well, man, this is great because I've built a whole like brand around this booth that I've started. I'm not even, and this guy's paying me to be here. Now imagine 1 year that all of a sudden you find out like maybe there aren't as many people at your booth. There's more people at some other guy's booth, and you're like, hey, every time I come here to my booth, there's not as many people, and there's other people over there. What do you got? And you go over to the owner, and you're like, what are you doing? And he's not really explaining things very well, but you're getting upset. You're mad. What's happening? And at the end of the day, you're at this place for free. You chose to do this here.
But what if he's putting you in the back?
I don't know. But that's my metaphor, okay?
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, yeah, you can have your complaints about it, but it's you chose to be there. You didn't have to be there. Someone let you be there for free. Choose.
No, you're right. It's not
Go start your own building.
Yeah, go build your own building and invite people there. That's what I've been saying since this whole thing got started. You can build a website in your room.
Squarespace.com/cow.
Yeah.
And I'll say one more thing. I want to be the booth. I don't want to be in the front. Booth. I don't want to be in the front. I don't want to be in the back. I just want to be just this booth. And it's kind of in the corner. And, well, I guess it would kind of maybe be in the back. Maybe it's like a front corner. It's on a wall.
In the very back, like
it's a little off a ways.
Like the guy who left the message.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stomping on him, you jerk.
And we're just doing what we do, and we're doing and as people kind of come and go, we're just doing what we're doing. And it's not like we're like, okay, what's happening in the expo center today? What's attracting people today? What do we do?
How do we get them? How do we get them
all? Hey, as you're going by, hey, stop here. You know, I don't want to be about that. It's like, hey, if you stop. If you come to our booth, hey, we're gonna have fun. Hey. Thanks for being here.
Maybe
hopefully you'll stick around.
Feeling a little better about life.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe they tell their friends, maybe they don't, and maybe there's more people at the booth some days, maybe they're not, but at the end of the day,
don't tell their friends because they feel like it's their thing.
Exactly. And you know what? That's the best. That's my favorite thing, because then I'll tell you what, I've heard from people saying, and I'll extend my metaphor out. so that it continues to make sense. But they've said
expanding the expo.
but they've said like, hey, I randomly ran into somebody, and I just struck up a conversation with them, and pretty quick in the conversation found out that they were homeschooled or whatever, and that they had been to your booth. And all of a sudden, since we had both been to this booth at different times
at the homeschool convention.
No, this is just a metaphor.
Oh.
This is a metaphor. It just means they've been and checked out our YouTube channel. Yeah, it was a metaphor.
I'm tracking now.
That was the start of their friendship because they had this common thing of, I enjoy their videos too. So like it was like, well, you must be the kind of person who likes this kind of stuff.
And then they fell in love, and the whole the beginning of Up begins.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Oh, what a great movie
that was all thanks to Blimey Cow.
All thanks to us.
Yep.
I heard a story the other day. Somebody had a Blimey Cow sticker on their laptop.
Yeah.
And a police officer walked by and was like, I love that sticker. And just kept going. Like he watched Blimey Cow too.
Make fun of police officers so much.
We make fun of authority, Kevin.
Oh.
The cop is a metaphor.
It's a I can't keep up.
You don't understand the metaphors.
I don't get them. Here's
we really have gone inner tube today.
We really, really have.
This is what the show's all about.
I think that I agree with you about the booth.
Good.
And that's what I want as well.
Yeah.
Though, if you are one of those people who are like, I don't tell people about Blimey Cow because it's my thing, stop it.
Just tell them about Say Goodnight, Kevin.
No, I mean, you can keep on being that way, but also if you love them so much, then why don't you marry them?
Yeah.
Or tell your friends about the about the show, because that is kind of a help.
I mean, I definitely know that there are things that like there's content that I've enjoyed over the years that I was just like, man, how would I even explain this to somebody? No one's going to get this. This is just kind of my thing. So that's why when you run into somebody else who likes it, you're like, oh, good, because I always felt weird talking about how I enjoyed this show or something. You know what I mean?
I thought the other day, because I very rarely tell people about my YouTube channel that I just
Understandable.
meet. And I was thinking, like, people review movies all the time, but I still feel embarrassed. Like, how do I explain this to people? I don't know. And it's like, I review movies on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just weird. Like somehow it feels weird because I'm the same way. Like if I meet new people, like normally whoever is introducing me to that person is like, oh, he's got a YouTube channel and it's really good and blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Oh, let's watch all of them right now in front of you.
But it's always just strange somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird because like you kind of have to talk about it because it's like such a big part. Is like, well, if you want to actually get to know me, then yeah, this is like the biggest part of my life basically. But at the same time, I always feel weird talking about like, I mean, other than when I'm with you and we're, doing the inner tube or just in general, because this is what kind of stuff we talk about.
That's what the show's all about.
That's what the show's all about. I don't like with my other friends, we don't really talk about YouTube stuff at all.
Right.
No,
we talk about politics.
That's what you and me talk about, Kevin.
Oh,
I don't
that's
talk
all
about,
I talk about.
I don't talk about
anybody.
politics with my other friends.
People get so sick of it. Yeah. People hate talking to me is what I'm trying to tell you. Because I turn everything into that.
I know you do.
People are like, hey, I need to go to the store. Well, stores.
Oh, you're going to the store. I guess you institution.
Love capitalism now all of a sudden.
Oh, so you're a socialist until you get hungry. Then you're a real capitalist.
Yeah, why don't you
That's
just
what you say.
Go ask a police officer to steal the food for you? Huh?
It's a metaphor, though.
It's a metaphor for theft by police officers. I don't get how metaphors work.
I guess that's it. Is that it? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, also, the government... No, I am done.